BMW M3 GTR. For many, this machine is inseparable from the blue and silver livery that defined a generation of virtual street racing. Behind the screen, its real-life counterpart was born out of pure motorsport rivalry. BMW wanted to dominate the American Le Mans series, but their standard inline-six engine could not keep up with Porsche. Their solution was to drop a massive 4-litre V8 into the chassis. It was so successful that rival teams complained, prompting racing officials to alter the homologation rulebook to require a massive increase in street-legal production models, a financial and logistical demand that effectively forced BMW to withdraw the car. Driving it in the digital world gave players a taste of a racing special that was simply too competitive for its own good. Banshee. Stealing this sleek sports car from the dealership window is a core memory for anyone who explored early three-dimensional sandbox cities. Visually, it was an unmistakable homage to the Dodge Viper, capturing its long hood and aggressive stance perfectly. In the gaming world, its powerful acceleration made it the ultimate getaway vehicle, provided the driver could handle its notorious tendency to spin out. It introduced millions of players to the raw, untamed nature of American muscle, wrapped in a lightweight sports car body. Nissan Skyline GTR R34. Long before it became a prized collector's item, this coupe was the ultimate canvas for digital customization. Games exploring underground tuner culture turned this Japanese domestic market vehicle into a global icon. In the real world, its legendary twin-turbo engine and advanced all-wheel drive system made it a technological marvel capable of hunting down supercars. The fact that it was not legally sold in several Western markets only added to its mystique, transforming it from a mere sports car into a forbidden dream for players worldwide. Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak. If you played racing simulators in the late 90s, you knew this massive red machine as the ultimate cheat code. Visually defined by its absurdly large aerodynamic wings, the Escudo was built for the specific and terrifying purpose of climbing a mountain in Colorado as fast as possible. Underneath its lightweight shell sat a twin-turbocharged V6 pushing out nearly 1,000 horsepower. While the physical car conquered the dirt trails of Pikes Peak, its digital counterpart broke track records and banked millions of virtual credits for countless players. Toyota Castrol Tom's Supra. The red, white and green graphics of this racing variant remain etched in the memories of early console players. While the street version of the Supra was globally famous for its robust, heavy inline-six engine, the real racing team opted for a completely different power plant. They utilized a lighter, turbocharged four-cylinder engine sourced from Toyota's rally program, which allowed for much better weight distribution and cornering balance on the track. This strategic engineering decision led to immense success in the All-Japan Grand Touring Car Championship. In the gaming world, it served as the perfect introduction to professional motorsport, blending approachability with high-speed performance. Ford GT90. This angular white prototype felt like a spaceship when it debuted in mid-90s arcade titles. Ford designed it to be the spiritual successor to their legendary Le Mans winners, utilizing a distinct edge design language that featured sharp triangles and glass panels. At its heart was a massive quad-turbocharged V12 engine that promised extreme top speeds. Although it never entered mass production, the concept vehicle was featured in early three-dimensional racing games, securing its place in history as a digital supercar that represented the optimistic future of automotive engineering. Chrysler ME412. Unlocking this mid-engine powerhouse was a defining moment in early open-world street racing games. The real vehicle was a serious statement from an American manufacturer, boasting a quad-turbo V12 and advanced carbon fiber construction. It had the performance metrics to rival the greatest European supercars of its era. While popular car culture rumors often claimed the project was killed specifically because it embarrassed the flagship Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren during the Daimler-Chrysler merger, the reality was largely financial. Developing and crash testing a bespoke hypercar proved far too expensive for the brand to justify producing at the time. It survives almost entirely in the memories of gamers who experienced its unbridled speed. Mazda Furai. Recognizable by its glowing LED smile and flowing aerodynamic lines, this concept car was a favorite in mobile and console titles alike. Mazda built it as a fully functional track car to celebrate their rotary engine heritage, and it sounded like a screaming Banshee at full throttle. Its organic design looked like wind frozen in carbon fiber. The real Furai met a tragic end when it caught fire and was completely destroyed during a media test session, leaving its virtual appearances as the only way to experience its unique character. Dodge Viper GTS-R. With its aggressive stance and massive rear wing, this red and white track weapon dominated the digital endurance races of the early 2000s. It was a vision of raw American muscle tailored for international motorsport. The long hood hid a massive V10 engine that delivered brutal torque, requiring a careful touch on the controller to keep it pointing straight. It bridged the gap between a brute force street car and a refined track athlete, leaving a lasting impression on players who valued sheer power over electronic driving aids. Ferrari Testarossa. Cruising down a pixelated coastal highway with the wind blowing through a digital driver's hair made this vehicle the quintessential arcade classic. Its side strakes and wide rear end defined 1980s automotive design. The mid-mounted flat 12 engine provided a distinct mechanical symphony that early sound chips tried their best to replicate. Beyond the screen, it was a cultural phenomenon that represented luxury and speed. But for a generation of kids standing in neon-lit arcades, it was simply the car you needed to beat the timer. Infernus. This name was synonymous with absolute top speed across multiple generations of open-world crime simulators. Depending on the era, its design morphed from a sharp Italian-inspired wedge into a sleek Japanese exotic, but its role remained exactly the same. It was always the rarest, fastest, and most difficult car to master in the game's traffic-filled streets. Spotting one in the wild usually resulted in an immediate hijacking, as driving it offered an unparalleled sense of velocity and prestige within the chaotic digital environment. Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution the Audi. As digital racing moved from closed tracks to neon-lit city streets, this four-door sedan became the weapon of choice. Born from grueling dirt rally competitions, its advanced all-wheel drive mechanics translated beautifully into grip-heavy cornering on virtual asphalt. The real-world rivalry it held with other Japanese sedans was mirrored in gaming lobbies around the world. It showed players that you did not need a million-dollar exotic to build a machine capable of outrunning the competition. Lamborghini Diablo SV. Fleeing from aggressive digital police cruisers usually required something loud, wide, and incredibly fast. This Italian exotic answered the call with its dramatic scissor doors and roaring V12 engine. The Super Veloci edition focused on reduced weight and increased performance, making it a difficult beast to tame both on the real road and on the screen. It captured the chaotic energy of late 90s gaming, serving as the ultimate reward for players skilled enough to survive high-speed pursuits. Saleen S7. Finding this long, low-slung supercar in an open-world racing game felt like discovering a hidden treasure. Built in California, it was one of the few true American supercars of its time, featuring functional aerodynamic gills and a naturally aspirated V8 that was later upgraded with twin turbochargers. Its physical production numbers were incredibly low, making it a rare sight on actual roads. For millions of enthusiasts, navigating digital traffic at breakneck speeds was the closest they would ever get to experiencing its raw aerodynamic downforce. Bugatti Veyron 16.4. By the time open-world driving simulators reached high definition, this engineering marvel was the undisputed king of top speed. Its introduction changed the automotive landscape, pushing past boundaries that engineers previously thought impossible with its quad-turbo W16 engine. In the gaming space, it became the ultimate status symbol and the standard benchmark for long highway sprints. It represented a shift in both reality and gaming, proving that extreme luxury and record-breaking velocity could exist within the exact same heavy, beautifully crafted package. Peugeot 206 WRC. Driving this compact hatchback sideways through narrow gravel stages became a core memory for rally game fans around the millennium. It looked vastly different from its humble street counterpart, featuring massive blistered wheel arches and a towering rear wing designed for maximum aerodynamic grip. Underneath, an advanced four-wheel drive system and a highly tuned engine allowed it to conquer real-world dirt, snow, and tarmac stages. In the gaming world, its short wheelbase made it twitchy but incredibly rewarding for those who learned how to throw it into tight hairpin corners. Dodge Tomahawk. Seeing this chrome beast featured in racing games like Gran Turismo defied logical explanation. It was essentially a massive Dodge Viper V10 engine bracketed by four closely spaced wheels, creating something that blurred the line between a car and a motorcycle. The physical concept was built as a rolling sculpture to draw attention at auto shows, with theoretical top speeds that ignored the laws of physics. Digital environments offered the only safe place to test those theories, allowing players to unleash its ridiculous acceleration without facing the terrifying reality of its design. Lamborghini Countach. This wedge-shaped exotic defined the bedroom wall posters of the 1980s and naturally transitioned into the ultimate boss vehicle for early synthwave arcade racers. Its sharp angles, Pop-up headlights and massive rear wing looked like something designed for deep space rather than earthly roads. The real car was notoriously difficult to see out of and heavy to drive, but none of that mattered on a glowing digital highway. It stood as a pure symbol of excess, challenging players to control its roaring V12 while dodging pixelated traffic. Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR, navigating this impossibly low and wide silver arrow through virtual endurance races, introduced many players to the extreme era of GT1 homologation. It was built specifically for the track in a matter of months, with a massive V12 engine tucked right behind the driver's head. The mandatory street versions were barely tamed, featuring tiny luggage compartments and minimal ground clearance. In racing simulators, it felt glued to the tarmac, giving gamers an authentic taste of a machine designed to dominate long-distance motorsport across Europe. Audi Le Mans Quattro. Before it evolved into the iconic R8 road car, this stunning silver concept car served as the ultimate prize in a defining era of street racing games. Its sleek curves, advanced LED lighting, and mid-mounted twin-turbo V10 engine showcased a bold new direction for the German manufacturer. The real concept was built to celebrate Audi's dominance at the grueling 24 hours of Le Mans endurance race. Unlocking it in the digital world felt like stepping out of the underground tuner scene and into the highest echelon of exotic automotive engineering. Volkswagen W12 Nardo. The bright orange paint and incredibly flat profile of this concept car made it an unforgettable sight in early 2000 racing titles. Volkswagen built it to prove they could engineer a world-class supercar, stuffing a massive 12-cylinder engine into a sleek mid-engine chassis. The real prototype actually set several 24-hour speed records at the Nardo Ring in Italy, proving its mechanical durability. Despite its proven performance and striking design, corporate decisions kept it from mass production, cementing its status as a legendary machine for the players who drove it. Chevrolet Corvette C5-R. The roaring yellow and black livery of this American racing machine tore through the digital tracks of early endurance simulators. Built to take on the world's best sports cars at Le Mans, the real C5-R utilized a massive, naturally aspirated V8 that provided a distinct, thunderous soundtrack. It was wider, lower, and vastly more aggressive than the street Corvette it was based on. For players, mastering its heavy torque output and rigid chassis felt like taming a wild animal, offering a raw, mechanical racing experience that stood out against more refined European competitors. Honda Eneas X Type R. Throwing this mid-engine sports car through the tight corners of virtual Japanese mountain passes taught players the value of balance over brute force. The real-world Type R shed significant weight through the removal of sound deadening and the addition of carbon fiber components, resulting in a razor-sharp driving dynamic. It was famously tuned with the help of Formula One legend Ayrton Senna. In the digital realm, its incredibly responsive handling allowed skilled drivers to outmaneuver much more powerful supercars on technical tracks, cementing its reputation as a giant killer. Cheetah. Cruising past neon-lit hotels with an electronic soundtrack playing on the radio made this wedge-shaped exotic a cultural touchstone of early 2000s gaming. Its design heavily borrowed from the Ferrari Testarossa, complete with signature side strakes and a wide rear track. While the real-world inspiration was a symbol of 1980s excess, the digital version became the ultimate status symbol for players rising through the ranks of a fictional criminal underworld. Finding one parked near a mansion meant you had finally made it to the top. Comet. Evading digital law enforcement through narrow alleys required a vehicle with precise handling and a compact footprint. This rear-engine sports car, heavily inspired by classic generations of the Porsche 911, provided exactly that perfect balance. Its iconic round headlights and sloping rear roofline made it instantly recognizable on crowded virtual streets. Because it combined excellent top speed with superior cornering grip, it quickly became the vehicle of choice for players who preferred surgical driving precision over sheer brute force.